Well, hi there, and welcome along to another edition of What's the Word in association with Ladbrokes. Slightly different What's the Word, given the old situation we've got across the water, but we seem we're away from it at the moment anyway, aren't we?
Yeah. We don't moan as much, do we, Juki?
No,
we just get up and get on with it.
Oh yeah, man flu. We are renowned for just getting on. We got a bit of a flu. You won't be able to work for 3 days.
Best tweet over the last couple of days. See Nick Goff's
Nick
tweet?
Goff's.
Ah, incredible.
It was something along the lines of, I assume all the stallions, geldings and colts are in bed and all the fillies and mares just getting on with it. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, equine influenza has not stopped things in Ireland. Now, before we get on to that, right, this is probably an opportunity for Irish racing in particular to go to a big new audience, right? And during the week, I fell down a YouTube rabbit hole and came across the incredible video of Cigar in his 1995 Breeders' Cup Classic win with the incomparable, invincible, unbeatable Cigar line just as he crossed lines. Absolutely brilliant. So what video would you show to a novice this weekend and you think this will get them hooked on
It's
racing?
funny that you mentioned the commentary there, because
I think that's a crucial part.
Yeah, it is a crucial part, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to give mine, because it's the best commentary I've ever heard. Was Denman's 2008 Gold Cup win, and everybody's going to be going, oh, that's obvious. But Richard Hoyles that day was just incredible. I remember word for word, relentless, remorseless, has pounded Cauto Star into submission, and then just right as they're passing the line, he said, the answer is Denman. Denman has won the Gold Cup. And it was the big build-up, Denman or Cauto Star, Denman or Cauto Star. The big question was, were you a Denman fan or were you a Cauto Star fan? And just as they're passing the line, the answer is Denman. Even talking about it now, I'm getting emotional.
Yeah, I thought it was a spectacular call. What about you, Juki?
I have three if you're interested.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, because I think that these three races, the thing about them is, so we watch so much race and you've kind of seen it all before, but there are certain times where you just watch what the hell happened there? What the hell happened? They're the kind of things I'd show people because they're so dramatic. So I will start off with a Razzie's Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Yes. And again, the commentator got involved because, I mean, he's just cut it.
Just remind people, he was down last just as they turned into the back straight, and then he kind of weaved through the field to come up sides about 4 wide in the home turn, and then
massive move. And I mean, just like almost like a stock car race, you should just weave it in between them. And the commentator was as incredulous as everyone who was watching, because he said something like, and Razzie runs right by him. And then, of course, he's made this huge mid-race move that he's got to falter in the straight. And then he sees that he's still on the bridle with a half a furlong to go. And what did he say about the second Bertrando? He called him the discouraged Bertrando. Which you would be if your lungs were bursting and if someone laughing at you. You'd be quite discouraged, wouldn't you? So it was a good commentary and an incredible race. So showing that. I like this getting the young fella indoctrinated young as well. That's what you get them. Now the second one, another American one. I don't follow a lot of American racing, but another dramatic race was Zenyatta's when she tried to follow up.
Blame.
Yes.
Zenyatta.
Well, this is Trevor.
Blame.
This is Trevor Denman, so we can't get away from Denman, and so she's trying to follow up her Breeders' Cup Classic win from the previous year, but that was on her beloved synthetics. Yeah. So she's on the dirt, jumps out of the trap, falls out of the traps, and then as they're coming past the post the first time, you think she's got to pull up. So this project is Donald Ducked, and it's had the big build up at home or whatever. So as David says, she sort of starts to make a run, and your man Denman is there. Zenyatta is flying on the outside. Blame on Zenyatta, and you can always hear, and Blame has done it.
But it was kind of like Blame,
big time, and then. I don't know how it worked, but everyone was so disappointed. It was like they switched the lights off almost immediately after the race.
Wind out of
I'd only see this shot of the front of the stands and this sign that says, "Go girl," blowing across like tumbleweed, and not a sinner there. Like, how could this happen? But I mean, that is the definition of glorious failure, that one. Yeah. And then finally, Frankel.
Oh, outstanding.
Because, I mean, Frankel's guineas, I'm not even sure. I don't think they got the tactics right on the day or what.
There are 3 parts of that race I absolutely love. First of all, out of the stalls, when his pacemaker can't go with him, and Tom Quinley just has that decision to make, and they kind of look and he's like, oh, just let him roll. And then it's just like, it's almost game over after a furlong. It is,
I mean, it's just, but you're watching it going, what the hell is going on here? And the hair still stand up in the back of your neck. And Bartlett, I wouldn't say it's an iconic commentary or anything, but he's 15 lengths clear at the bushes.
I think the middle of the race is almost more iconic than the end.
I didn't even know there was bushes.
yeah, he's 15 lengths clear at the bushes, now.
So there's
quality calls. Last week we did have the Dublin Racing Festival. A couple of eye catchers for you from it. I'll give you the market movers, by the way, from Ladbrokes first. Obviously, Apple's Jade into 15 to 8 from 94 for the champion hurdle.
Wins.
Fair enough. Wins, yeah? Thoughts?
If she repeats that performance at Cheltenham, it's all over.
Absolutely. Min now 3-1 from the Ryanair, 6-1 for the Champion Chase. Would you be?
I think Min will go for the Champion Chase and Fuffpad will go for the Ryanair.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Could be in for an incredible Red Mills Chase in a couple of weeks' time as well. Sir Eric 6-4 clear favourite for the Triumph.
Yeah, I think that wins too.
No, just beast, man. How much did his jumping improve for the first run?
Absolutely. And he's still an entire. This could be one of the most intriguing projects over the next year. What happens?
As my colleague Paul Keeley has alluded to, if you're to give a really talented, highly rated flat horse a way to look incredibly impressive, that was the way to do it. Give it an easy lead, and then it's just going to blow you away. So he does have a point, but I'd imagine whatever way any races ran with juveniles, he'll beat them.
Yeah,
think so. The vibes I heard were that like Fakir Dudari wouldn't line up with him at home. He is.
But he looks like he's supreme bound now.
Yeah, apparently, and as Ladbrokes said, he's one of the biggest losers for them in the Supreme as well. Classical Dream now 8 10 to the Supreme.
Not for me.
Yeah. Bells Hill in the Gold Cup.
Yeah, I think he'll run well.
You actually are a free license here to after time.
Yeah, do you know what? I fancied him, and I was almost a little bit disappointed after the race because Road to Respect didn't jump well, and he just about beat him. But I think on softer ground at Cheltenham, with that run under his belt, I think Bells Hill is a player. I don't know whether he's just lacking that real class to win a Gold Cup, but I could see him being placed. But then you think about Lord Windermere won a Gold Cup, so yeah, I think he'll run well.
Yeah. Other one then, Commander of Fleet now 8 to the Albert Bartlett, 12 to Ballymore. What way do you reckon he goes?
Probably Albert Bartlett because they've got Battle Over Die in the Ballymore. Yeah. The biggest eye catcher of all to me was Uradell in the Ladbrokes Hurdle. I thought that was, if ever there was a Coral Cup trial, that was it. Yeah. And I think he'll go off favourite for the Coral Cup.
Fair enough. Nice double for the year. Any thoughts on those, Dukey?
Just the horse we were talking about who chinned Araman, whose name is the Classical Dream.
Yes.
I think he will go for the Ballymore Classical Dream, and Araman is a runner in the Supreme because the old course in Cheltenham will really suit him. He's a handy horse,
and he's owned by the Supreme, so it's just made for it.
He's got a lot of experience. I think he'd nearly be the one I'd plump for in the.
Yeah. Aside from Fakir Dudari, by the big liabilities for Ladbrokes in the run-up to the Fez, OK Corral, the National Hunt Chase, Champ in the Ballymore, Santini in the RSA, and Paisley Park in the Stairs. You wouldn't be happy laying money then, would you? Kind of a shorter price, or what bigger prices?
No, I'm not going to get into an argument with Juki, but Paisley Park at the moment is too short a price in my eyes.
Yeah. Cheeky?
Well, I don't know. If you like money, I'd just put it on Paisley Park. But if you don't,
okay. If you like money, let's move on to Naas, and it's a big weekend for Naas because Naas are going to be featured on ITV Racing on Saturday. So huge. I actually just spoke to Tom Ryan. He said they have taken all precautions necessary, as regards the sort of outbreak of equine influenza. Obviously not affected over here, but they have gone through rigorous procedures to ensure that everything in the racecourse is spick and span, and they're very much looking forward to being the centre of attention on Saturday as well. So we'll start with the Opera Hat, which is going to feature on the card there at 2:10, and it's kind of a disagreement between the two. You think Prava Laguna is going to be very short, and you don't?
Yeah, I just think when you go through the race, Beta's Isle needs further, Teacher's Pet needs further. You kind of narrows it down a bit. Miss Lovette, I don't think is any star, and then you come to Prava Laguna, who I thought was pretty awesome last time. She's the best horse in the race. She's only carrying 10 stone 7. Gets weight off Teacher's Pet. I know ground is obviously a big thing with Prava Laguna, but I just think she's the best horse in the race, and I think she's very hard to beat.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't disagree. She'll be a worthy fav. I wouldn't be taking a really short price about it because, again, I think she ideally wants further and ideally wants deeper ground. Synopsis is a model of inconsistency, but she didn't take to Huntingdon the last day.
Very different track, Naas and Huntington.
Very much so. I think she's better going left-handed.
Well, she is rated 135.
If she repeated the Cheltenham run,
if she runs to 135,
I just think
that's a fair effort.
If people read too much into the Huntington run, she is better going left-handed. And Huntington, if you get out of a rhythm there, if you get out of a rhythm there, you're doomed.
There's nowhere to come back from at Huntington because people just get flat out in front. And
it could just be overpriced.
Yeah, okay. Synopsis for you. Elsewhere in the card, Juki, in the 10 past 1, you like one here under Jack Kennedy.
Well, Scormar. He won't ever be as good a horse as... did we say the 310?
Yeah, sorry, that's the 310, yeah, Scormar. That's from Mark Walsh, I beg your pardon. As in the 110.
The 110, apologies, Tom.
Early on, sorry. Chronological order here.
Apologies. Debuchet, of course, will be fav, but he's a horse, he's regressive. I backed this Empire Escape the last day and I was encouraged to see there was good cash from. Unfortunately, he got brought down. Now, again, the drop in trip isn't obvious, but he's a good-looking horse. He's unexposed. I think he'd be a very solid each-way option. I couldn't really kick him.
Can you see Debuchet potentially making the market for you a little bit here,
yes.
or do you think the punchers have finally cried enough?
Well,
Patrick Mullen's interested in jockey booking as well, given,
I think in this company it'll still be fav, though.
Yes, absolutely.
This isn't much of a race.
Yeah, fair enough. Elsewhere, we mentioned that 310, and there is one here dropping down in trip that you like, Juki.
Yeah, I don't think that the drop in trip is a massive worry. I think
dropping class rather. I meant to say.
Well, he is dropping in trip as well from the Paddy Power down to 2.5 miles. But I wouldn't be massively worried about that. I think he hasn't been comfortable in the races he's been in. This is a 0 to 130. He's third top rated. His last 2 runs, in the context of the races he was running in, were pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think tomorrow could be the day.
Yeah. Jenny, you like one here as well?
He has a chance, and I think I've 128. He's got a big squeak, but I've just thought all season after watching the Cork National that Velocity Boy is so well treated off a mark of 130. The problem is he needs soft ground, and I don't know if it's going to be soft enough for him here. Spoke to William Murphy earlier on. He just thinks he's able to go the same pace on heavy ground as he is on good ground, so that's why he's so good on heavy ground. Maybe 3 miles on heavy ground is what he needs. He might just, with Dennis O'Regan, who's tailor-made for Velocity Boy, he might just get away with it, and I think he might just have a class edge because I think he's the best horse in the race, as the ratings tell you. So I'm going to plump for Velocity Boy. And
just half an hour later, you fancy one as well, Gordon?
Yeah, Gordon and Joseph both throw plenty of bullets at this, and even Pádraig Roach's horse is going to be probably favourite, I'd imagine. She's made it. She's been kind of really consistent this season. But Empire Burlek. Is that the way we're going? Yep. Empire Burlek. I just thought there was more sign of life last time. Like I'd imagine they thought it'd be better than 105 horse a couple of months ago. Hasn't really progressed, but disappointing at Fairy House. But last time I just said there's a horse now that's just knocking on the door. And I don't think while there's 23 runners, I don't think it's a particularly good race. So Empire Burlek in the 340.
Good stuff. Well, let's move on to the Sunday action. We're at Punchestown on Sunday. The feature event is at 4:20. It's the Irish Grand National Trial there. You've had a little look at this one. Juki, do you like one here in the Irish Grand National Trial? I think they get their money back, their entry fee money back if they go and win this kind of win you're in type scenario. But
well, they've been rewarded with a big
really good
competitive race. This Fitzhenry.
Yes.
It's almost a carbon copy of last season. He's just getting better at every run. Interestingly, the boy Nolan switches from cheek pieces to blinkers, but he can't do anything wrong at the moment, so let's hope that continues. But the blinkers could improve him. I suppose that's why he's putting them on. £2 rise for his third in the Paddy Power. Looks a relentless stare. Just thought he had to go close. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, you've had a little look at the Grand National Trial.
I think the most likely winner is probably Solomon Grundy, who Tom Scudamore is over to ride. Off 136, should be bang there. But I'm going to chance one at a massive price. Wish more of Joseph O'Brien's.
There is one of these races in it, isn't
there? It's just so frustrating watching him because he gets himself back into contention and then he just plunges through a fence.
Buries one, yeah.
And he comes out with branches on his head every time. And you're just kind of saying to yourself, do you know what? If he does just get into a rhythm, and now that he's up markedly in trip to 3.5 miles, he's been running over 2.5 miles. If he does get into a rhythm early, he's probably one for in-running players. But he'd be a huge price. And there is a pot in him off a mark of 130. Like, he's only carrying 9 stone 11. I like Andrew Ring in these big handicaps. He almost won the Kerry National in Arkerist. And I just think he'll be overpriced. And it's just, even if he just made 2 mistakes rather than 7,
yeah, okay,
he'd definitely have a chance.
On the plus side, at least he's at a track where it's easy to jump around. Or not. Giant fences and Punchestown, just to clarify. Right, on to the second race on the Punchestown card then at 2, the Novices Hurdler. Listed contest, this one, and you both like one here. So, Juki, we'll start with you.
Well, it's an interesting race, isn't it? It's a small field, but I thought it was hard to rule them out. But I'll go for that Chosen Mate. Very much just on the visuals. I don't know what he beat in Fairy House, but the market suggested a lot wasn't expected. And just travelled, jumped, ran away from them in the end. Looked a proper horse. So I'll go with my eyes.
You go with your eyes. The visuals, boys. Eh? What about you, John?
Yeah, I'm going to go with my eyes as well. Hopefully my eyesight is better than yours, because I thought Sonoria was brilliant at Down Royal on St Stephen's Day. Like, just to beat Calico Jack by double figures means that I think she's better than 128 rated horse. She was taken out of the Mayor's Handicap Hurdle last Sunday. A lot of long faces, including our very own Gavin Lynch, who fancied her for that. The ground is obviously going to be softer here. And it was just one of them performances that you kind of went, hang on a second, this horse could be really, really good. Now, she's not as good as the stablemate. That's obviously favourite for the Mayor's Hurdle, Honeysuckle. But I think she's quite good, and I think she'll win this. Sonoria.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, let's move on to the Novices Chase then at 10 to 4. Here we go. I think there's going to be a bit of agreement on the panel here, because you're in best bet of the weekend territory here.
We are both in agreement.
This is a beautiful moment.
Yes.
Take it away.
We were walking into the office earlier, and we started talking, and I said I fancy one for the weekend, and Juki here, geez, I really fancy one for the weekend, and bang, it's the same horse in the same race. Who would have thought it? Yes, I cannot wait for 10 to 4 on Sunday.
Okay.
My whole weekend will revolve around Riders on the Storm. Who is running?
He's not going to sing it, are you? Okay,
no, absolutely not. He's running in the rated novice chase for horses that were rated 135 or less over hurdles. He was rated 132. For horses who have had 2 runs or less over fences,
I love these races that have like an essay for the conditions.
Like, if there ever was a race invented for a horse, this is it. And if you go back to his run in the Grade 1 race at Limerick on St Stephen's Day, turn into the home straight, you're kind of saying to yourself, okay, Gettybird is probably likely to win, Hardline will be bang there, and then you're going, what the hell is that? That's still on the bridle there. What is it? It's Riders on the Storm, who's rated 132 over hurdles. I think he could possibly be even a 20-pound better chaser. He has to prove it now, but 2 miles, Punchestown, in his own company, down in grade, in a race that's made from Lord Holy God, Juki, what can possibly go wrong?
Well, he's his own worst enemy. I mean, he's by Scorpion, so he didn't lick it off a stone. But as David said, he wasn't on the bridle. He was pulling the jockey's arms out, because that's what he does all the way around. He just wastes energy.
So much ability, this
He just like...
Would arguably say Punchestown is a kind of track where if you do get to the front 3 or 4 furlongs out, you can actually just roll down the hill and perhaps get a little breather into him.
Yeah, well, I think he'll be played. I'd imagine he'd be played as late as possible. But he's such a good jumper as well. Very good jumper. And there is, despite the small field, there is plenty of pace in this race.
Which will help himself.
So,
Dr. Mikey, he's probably going to make it.
Yeah.
Impact factor, yeah. This is...
So here we go. Best bet of the weekend, all together. Yeah.
Riders on the Storm.
I wouldn't disagree.
Okay. Well, I actually better mention the cross-country chase that gets the card on the way as well, 145, because a couple of these are probably going to line up at Cheltenham as well. Like Ballycasey, Josie's Orders, Hurricane, Darwin, Size and Network. Yeah, it's not a bad race. I mean, there's obviously a lot of Drossland as well because it's a hunter chase or cross-country. But like, what do you make of that?
I don't know if he'll win here, but I fancy Ballycasey to win the Glenfarclas cross-country chase at Cheltenham.
Okay.
Maybe this is just, I don't know how fit he is going into this race. Maybe it's just a pipe opener. But I think he'll win at Cheltenham.
He has schooled at Cheltenham.
I've seen brilliant videos, and he's ran at Cheltenham. Really like catch him run in December. So yeah, Ballycasey at Cheltenham for me. I'd maybe suggest backing him now for the Cheltenham race because he could be a lot shorter afterwards.
Yeah. Thoughts, Juki?
I'm not sure Ballycasey is giving us all these days.
I'm not sure Ballycasey has been giving us all for about 3 or 4 years.
Possibly.
Very harsh.
Josie's Orders would look solid. Be favourite. I don't think I'll be having a bet.
I always keep an eye on Peter Marr in these kind of races as well. He's real, and his horses tend to be a bigger price, but he trains pretty close by, and he specialises in this that sort of event. Right, let's move on to our best bets of the weekend then. Ladbrokes Store's best odds guaranteed on singles and multiples in shops early in the day. Right, Juki, 3 for the weekend. Traditional Trixie or?
Traditional Trixie. Okay, I will go Scormar in the 310 at Naas. I will go Chosen Mate in the 220 at Punchestown. And it's got to be Riders on the Storm in the 350. Right. The door is open, Tom.
Indeed. Go on.
Yeah, I'm riding on the Storm as well. 350 Punchestown, Sonoria, 220 at Punchestown, and we'll throw in 1 at Naas as well, just to keep people happy. And I will go for Prava Laguna in the 210.
Good stuff. Yeah, well, I was going to go with City Island in the 1240 at Naas, Prava Laguna in the 210 at Naas, and I'm going to take on. You can go with Roaring Bull off mark of 127 in the 310. From Naas. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week. Hopefully a little bit more racing for What's the Word.